All right. We're here. We're on. We're on live.
James, just to start this episode,
What?
I really want to show you something I just saw on Instagram.
Okay.
I'll show you the video, and I'll put it close to the microphone so people can hear the audio.
It's very upsetting. That's upsetting. That's violating content. Some of these AI things freak me out.
That one's pretty rough.
That's really scary.
Really freaky.
That's freaky.
I do not like that.
No, that was because that's very realistic looking.
Yeah, some of them are.
Looks like there's a face poking out of my knee, like Voldemort in the back of that guy's head. Like this is the nose.
Name.
These are the eyes, and this is the nose.
It does look like that.
One time I had a TikTok band. I was cat sitting for a friend of mine in New York.
Yeah.
And the TikTok caption was me getting head from a bald bitch. And I just put the phone like here, and I had my knee look like a woman's head.
Right.
Or someone's head. But I said bald bitch. And I just kept being like, and I just kept like as if I was getting head from a bald bitch. And I would just smack the head like really hard. And I did it like 7 times. And he was like, your TikTok has been removed. But it had like 10,000 views in like an hour. And then it once it hit like a filter. Once it hit like a monitor, they were like, no, we don't. This is a children's app.
I feel like now that would pass.
Maybe.
I see stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe they've changed. This was back in like 2021.
Smacking bald bitches.
That can pass. That's more nasty than what I did.
Yeah, that's some weird ass shit, dude.
Just poured us 2 glasses of the strongest tequila. What is it?
It's just, I don't know. It's some like tequila. She wanted to make margaritas the other night.
AutoZone?
Yeah, it has oil in it.
Oh,
it has gasoline in it.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's a new layer. How's your week been? This is a super late boy time.
This is a late night special. I thought about it. I wanted to get home a little before to like prepare. I want to like put candles out. Didn't do it. Maybe we can do it next time.
Yeah, next time. You can do a romantic evening at Caleb's apartment.
Yeah.
I guess your girlfriend will be back in town by then now.
Yeah, I'm single for 5 days. If any ladies out there want to hit me up.
5 days of Mr. If Caleb can start a relationship in 5 days, then have you done that before?
Then it's not cheating.
You ever fallen in love in 5 days? Takes
that's
a little bit.
That's a good rom-com though.
Yeah.
5 days of summer.
They have like 10 days to lose a guy or whatever.
Right.
You know that one? Matthew McConaughey? How to lose a guy in 10 days.
My girlfriend loves that movie, yeah.
And then she's like, oh. That whole movie's like, I got to write an article for my magazine that I write for called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But I actually like this guy. And it's like,
yeah,
you don't have to do that. Though. You decided like pitches for magazines are not legally binding contracts. You could change it. How I thought I was going to bring
just not publish that article.
You know what's a more interesting article? I tried to leave a guy in 10 days and actually fell in love with him.
Right.
Not how I lost a guy in 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't like the whole thing of that movie, because my girlfriend's explained it to me before, where, yeah, she's writing the article or something, and so she's sabotaging it on purpose.
Yes.
Right. And then isn't he doing like a challenge to where it's like he has to get a girl in 10 days?
Yes, they have opposite challenges.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's really dumb. Because what are the odds? I don't think he's like a journalist, though.
Right.
I think he's just a guy.
I just mean dumb like as a movie plot. Like what exec was like, yeah, let's greenlight this movie.
Because like he'll tolerate anything. That's the whole thing is he has to stay with this woman.
Right.
She's like, doesn't know what to do. Well, you shouldn't have gotten down.
Yeah, she's being crazy. It really is because usually Alyssa is here like a lot during the day. She's like starved for attention.
Yeah.
Then she's like, what's over there?
I love when dogs pretend that there's something over there. And it's like, you're smart enough to know there's nothing.
There's nothing over there.
Like if you're yelling at them and they're like looking around.
Like, No, you're not investigating anything.
What the
What? Did you guys see the thing over
Dude,
there?
there's a thing running by.
I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I swear there's a thing over there.
Now she's like, what's in the kitchen? Any more food on the counter for me to eat? She's looking for another whole roast chicken on the counter.
That's funny. So how's your week been? How things going?
It's good. I worked a lot. I drank like too many beers yesterday and like woke up this morning and I was like, oh, just like feeling horrible.
Right.
So that wasn't fun.
Woke up looking for the.
Yeah, looking for the aspirin. That's not gonna stay.
Woke up looking for the aspirin.
That's gonna fall.
It's not gonna fall.
Okay.
Trust me.
Stay.
I'm holding it in my
Stay
mind.
over there.
Hey, go lay down.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're making me nervous.
Yeah, chill out, homie. This is boy time. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Dude, I can smoke all your girlfriend's weed while she's out of town.
Dude, do it.
That'd be fun, right? She comes back and there's no weed.
Yeah.
What
Who smoked
happened?
my weed?
It wasn't you. Was there a weed bag burglar? The weed bandit came through? You're dating a 75-year-old Jewish lady? Nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. Caleb's very attracted to elderly Jewish women.
It's true.
Caleb! Time to put my ointment on my crevice. Oh my god. You gotta put ointment on the top of her ass crack.
Ow, you're being too rough.
It burns! It burns! You're like, you're doing the voice a little much right now, Bernice.
Bernice.
Yeah, that was your ex-girlfriend, right? Bernice?
Yeah, Bernice.
Is there a name ugly enough that it
Bernice
would ruin?
Valdez.
She was Spanish.
Yes.
She was Spanish Jew. Latina Jew.
That's a double whammy right
Yeah,
there.
dude. The double whammy of a complaining ass girlfriend.
It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts, and we have to go see my family of 400 people this weekend. Oh, I hate my Latina Jewish girlfriend. You're a little Mexican too in this scenario. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate my Latina girlfriend.
And she goes, where your fake mutton chops, honey? Why? My mutton chops.
You're crying in the mirror.
I put it on a monocle. They think I wear a
They
monocle. I
think
have
you're
to
a
keep up the
politician from the
appearance.
Civil War. Thank you for solving
Get
that
your
horrible problem. Slavery? No. The North being too aggressive. They're Confederate Jews.
Confederate Latino.
Well, they're from the
Jews.
south of the border. They have to
Okay,
be- That's the
right.
Latina.
Okay.
But they're just a bunch of misplaced Jews who left Eastern Europe and ended up in Georgia.
Right.
And they integrated with the Latina population. Not Latino, just the women.
Okay.
I can't deny their sassy attitudes and voluptuous bodies make me very horny. I always thought Jewish people, it was so interesting because like Jewish kids are so like sexually liberated.
You think so?
Well, like there's just a lot of stories. Like I went to like Catholic camp and nobody was like fingering, but like Jewish people, I've heard a lot of stories about like Jews when they're kids, they go to like Jewish camp a lot, which is
Yeah.
like that's got to bring back some weird genetic memories. Like we're going to the Jew camp.
Don't worry. Everybody calm down.
The
It's not
shower.
one
They
of
have the
those.
first thing they do is show you the showers pour
Like,
water.
It's just water, guys.
Screaming.
There's no
Listen.
doors on these showers. We're not gonna enclose you.
Look, there's windows. If I smell something, it's probably Hoyvitz over here making some gas. Looks like a gassy chunkster.
It's not a gas chamber. He's a jumpster.
He's a chumpster. Ah! They're screaming all the time. No, like Jewish kids will go to like Jewish camp, and then like they'll like fuck each other. They're
Hell
like,
yeah.
I got some hand jobs at Jewish camp. Like that's
Yeah.
like how it worked. And
Yeah,
then
I
they go
feel
like to fucking birthright, and that's just that's just come to Israel and fuck a bunch of people. That's all birthright is.
That's on their little it's on their pamphlet.
yeah.
They're handing
You
it
could
out.
fuck an Israeli woman.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
A
I'll
white
go.
Middle Eastern lady.
Oh, cool. I'll go. Have you heard about the
Go ahead.
I just bring up like Israel Palestine.
Sure.
Like every episode
Have you heard
I
about-
try to do
Have
it.
you heard about something going on over there?
No, if you have like Jewish heritage in your bloodline, you can go to Israel for free.
That's what birthright is.
Oh, that's what that is.
That's what
it's
birthright
called.
is.
I feel
Yeah.
dumb.
It's okay. You're not dumb. You just explained the thing that I said in plain
It's
passing.
true.
Yeah, that's what it is. They pay for you to go. That's how Ethan Klein met his wife on a free birthright trip.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was an IDF soldier that was like guarding them.
Really?
That's how they met. Because that's what they do. They put the
And
sexy.
he's like, you like teddy bears, don't you?
Yeah,
She's
could
like, I
tell.
guess.
She's like, do you like being fresh? She has like a weird like voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they do. They put all the hot young men and women IDF soldiers on like the birthright, because everyone in Israel has to serve for like 2 years.
Yep.
It's like Greece is the same way. You have to serve in the military for 2 years, and so they take all the sexy young ones and put them on the birthright, so the Americans will fuck them and move to Israel.
Oh my God.
They're also
I
from
didn't
other
know
countries,
that.
but it's mostly Americans. You can also lie. Like, I had a
Right.
buddy who went to Birthright, and I was like, how do they know? And they're like, they don't know. You just sign up for it. Just a free
Dude,
trip
let's
to
do that. Boytime Birthright.
Yeah, let's go to
episode.
Israel now. That sounds really cool, man.
I mean, make really good content.
It smells
On-
really weird here. It smells like burning rubble all the time.
Just stay away from pagers as much as you can.
Yeah. They give you a pager when you
Like,
get to
I think I'm all right.
I'm good. I have a phone.
Yeah, right. You have to take it and also put ointment on me. I can't do the
I
Jewish
can't do it.
accent.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Look,
My mom's
they
from
take you.
Michigan. What can I say?
What can I say? They take you to like a big like natural like nature park, and they're like, "Look at our beautiful crevice." There's just a big crevice. They're like, "Please rub ointment on it with this, as
so you can practice for your future
as
wives.
Christ did." It's like you guys talking about.
I don't think Christ did that.
Also, you guys like don't like him. I thought.
Yes, we know, but he's important to the historical context of our hatred.
Christ is like the Kendrick Lamar to the black hippie of Judaism. He like left and then like created his own thing.
Yeah,
He's like the
I
Tyler the
guess so.
Creator to the Odd Future of Israel. Like
Right.
Jesus.
He's the Eminem of
D12.
D12, yeah.
These girls
far
don't
can we
even.
take that?
D12. I mean, there's 12 apostles.
Oh my God.
These girls don't
Is-
even know that
is
I'm on the
Eminem-
cross.
Is Eminem Jesus? You know the videos where it
That's
just
the
like
title.
keeps going further and
Yeah.
further.
It's like, okay.
It's like, and then one time he said 7 and 1, which plus that divided by 3 times 2, and then he says this thing in a verse.
Have you seen that woman? There's like an old viral video. This woman has like Monster Energy logo, and she's like a Christian, and she's like at like a
Yes.
conference. She's like C3.
Yes.
It's actually 666. Da, da, da,
Right.
the sign of the beast. Like if you drink Monster Energy, you're like demonic.
Yeah.
There's like plenty of things Christians could actually talk about, and then they end up talking about like the
The
Teletubbies.
stupidest shit.
Yeah, it's like
Like the Pokemon. Have you seen the old videos
No.
about like, yeah, there's like old preachers being like, Pokemon, like they capturing creatures and that's demonic. That's a sign for like demons and having demons like in your spirit because you're holding them like close to you.
right.
And then you cast them out, and that's like casting a demon that works for you. It's like
yeah,
it's just like a funny looking character.
yeah. They're
Like,
little like people, not people.
Yeah.
They're little animals with like
So-
elemental powers.
That's another thing too. Is like the elemental spirits of the world.
We were related to this woman. She died, but she was like my aunt married a guy and his mom, so she doesn't really have a relation to me.
She married the guy and his mom.
No, she married a guy. His mom, like, saw I was reading Harry Potter, and I like went to bed at their house and woke up, and she had taken away my Harry Potter book.
Nice.
She was like, "That's demonic." Like, it's about a boy who lives under the
Right.
stairs. It's just like such like a
That's it.
silly
Full
world.
stop. Right.
There's nothing demonic in it. There's bad guys in it, and they
Right.
defeat them.
Right. Exactly.
Harry Potter dies and comes back to life. Like it is as a Christ mystery.
Yeah.
There's no trans people in it.
There's
So what are you
certainly
gonna be mad
isn't.
about?
There's certainly no
Every
trans people in
ethnic
it.
character is like a racist name.
Right.
Cho
And the
Chang.
goblins are definitely Jewish.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bank ones.
Yeah.
Those are goblins.
Don't steal our gold.
Yes.
I think so.
Those are goblins. Who are
Yeah.
the I'm thinking the house elves. Dobby.
Right.
Dobby. We talked about Dobby, right?
Yeah. He's in the Boytime lore for sure.
Dobby's in the BOYtime lore. Oh no, I went up and saw my friend John, and we just kept watching like Dobby edits. He was like,
Right.
"Didn't Dobby get shot?" And I was like, "Dobby didn't get shot, dude.
There's not guns.
There's
in
like
the
no
movies.
gun in the Harry Potter universe, which would solve a lot of problems."
Yeah, I was just saying Voldemort.
Yeah. What's he gonna do? It's a gun.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
I'm
you
sure
have
he
to
has
say
some spell
words.
that like is always on him that like deflects projectiles or something.
The longer they made those movies, the crazier they became because they were like, "Yeah, this is all like this. Something happened during World War II." It's like there was Wizard World War II.
Right.
That's insane. So we
What
had Hitler
is-
and then Wizard Hitler.
What is Harry Potter? Like, what is that set in like an alternate universe?
Yeah, but it's like they are separate and hiding themselves from our world. So if they really did exist, they like do a lot of stuff to like hide themselves.
Right.
Like that's the whole thing is like it is our world, but they have like been
What time is it set in? Because there's cars,
the
right?
90s.
It's
They
the
all
90s,
came out,
okay.
and then the last one came out in like early 2000s. But they're like set in the 90s.
Interesting.
And they avoid technology. Like you can kind
Right.
of see that there's not a lot of technology there.
That is funny too, because if that was real, you would just have like drone strikes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we on our security cameras, we see these people keep going through a wall. We're gonna right in that wall, baby.
Right in the crevice.
Right. Rub the crevice.
Rub the crevice for the magical
To get
powers.
3 wishes from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is cool though. I always liked it. I always thought it was cool. I like going to the Universal Studios park.
Yeah.
You like feel like
With the
you're
dragon.
Yeah.
Dude, the breath on that dragon, you actually feel the heat.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's
It's
interesting.
real fire. It's not
Whoa.
magic.
It's not magic.
It is freaky. It is freaky.
is.
Like you ever go on the Mummy ride,
Yeah.
and then the fire's like right there.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh it's a little close. It's like,
yeah.
how,
a little
I always wonder
concerning.
how they like test that. Like, do they have like a dummy with like paper on his face, and if the paper ignites, it's like, well, maybe we shouldn't have children ride this.
5 more inches. Back it
Yeah.
up 5 more inches.
Okay.
Have the engineers do it. They can't change the fire projectile. They have to change the track of the ride.
Yes, they can't.
Yeah.
They can't change it. That was there before we built the ride. What?
We can't change the ignition and the flame.
Yeah, we built it
size.
around the flames. The flames have always been here. It's the eternal flame of the mummy.
Yeah, the
What?
ride literally revolves around this eternal monument.
I went on the mummy ride a lot in my life. I like when
Nice,
you.
dude. All right, that's been
That's from BOYtime. I like when you get on. I like when rides try to force a plot really quick. Or like there's a ride at Epcot called like Journey into Imagination.
Yeah.
With Figment. And I remember being a kid being like, who the fuck is Figment? Use Pocahontas. Like,
Yeah.
why do I have to buy into a new character now?
Yeah.
It's like a little purple dragon. And he's like flying around. I'm like, I don't know who this
I
guy
don't
is.
care. It was a Spyro.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It looks exactly like Spyro. But like, it's like, dude, we don't need like new OP.
Go lay down.
You would be good on a ride. But no, the mummy ride, you like get on, and then there's like a guy who's supposed to be like a tourist, and he's like, get out of here. The mummy curse is real. And it's like he just says a bunch of stuff really quickly, and then you immediately start the ride. And it's like,
Right.
was that the plot? Like, I don't need a plot in a roller coaster.
Exactly.
Like, I haven't been on the Velocicoaster, but I like was like watching like all this like a video where a guy was like walking around it. It's not a lot of plot. There's like there are raptors. That's the plot of the Velocicoaster.
Right.
The Hagrid ride does have like a little bit of a plot. It's like Hagrid has a motorcycle. You're on it. That's it. Like any ride that's like you could do like I don't know. You could reenact the plot of like Peter Pan. But like,
Sure.
because I know the story and like, oh, I'm flying around in Peter Pan. I know this movie.
Yeah.
But like, why are you introducing new stuff? Like the Harry Potter in the haunted house, or not the haunted house, in the castle ride. There's like a plot.
Right.
Why is there a plot? I can't focus on being upside down and a story. There's a reason
You gotta pick one. You gotta
right.
pick one.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
Like there's a Shrek movie.
I
don't
normally
think it's there
disagree
anymore.
with everything you say, but
Right.
this one I do agree with.
Yeah. There's like a Shrek movie, and you sit down, you put on glasses, and you're watching a movie. It's like, all right, I'm watching a movie. But then, like,
Sure.
if I'm upside down,
I can't pay attention.
I got a thing over me, and they're like, so in 1984, what?
What if there was like a Holocaust ride?
There was. It was the train. All
It's like
aboard
you're
the
going,
choo-choo train.
you're flipping upside down to like 6 million dudes, and little Tommy.
You know on the rides where they'll play music that matches, like
Right.
the Rip Ride Rocket. You pick your song, and then it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
matches to the thing. You accidentally picked the Holocaust, like the documentary track. The Holocaust was
okay. No,
Adolf Hitler was bad. I know. I'm upside down. I don't need to know that Adolf Hitler was bad. I'm upside down right now.
I'm upside down right now.
I just did a corkscrew, and then it's like,
I can't
and then
think
the
about
Russians
the
won.
geopolitical position of Germany and be upside down at the same time.
It's like you'd never. That would be in a European theme park.
Oh, for sure.
Not the Holocaust
Like,
one,
remember,
but it's
kids,
too
fascism's
serious.
bad.
Yeah, it's like fascism, the ride. Like, what the fuck?
featuring Hitler's dog. I guess
He's there.
Again, a new
You stop the
character.
ride. There's a spotlight on the dog, and then you just shoot off again. Like, that had nothing to do with fascism. Ah, yes, but the experience truly was that.
That one was for the kids. A dog. Kids love dogs.
These Germans don't know what kids want. Kids love dogs.
The dog is like very malnourished.
I always
Kids
would
love
love
dogs.
if like a theme park designer like did like weird serious stuff like that. You could never do that. No, because it's like a theme park. You're on the Hulk. Like imagine being on the Hulk ride and the Hulk's like, war is bad. It's like political messaging in the ride.
It's okay to be green and trans.
What the I guess. I mean, I didn't need to, like, you know, a movie that, like, really ham-fistedly put, like, a message in there at the end.
Right.
Just on the Hulk, and it ends, and he goes, being trans is okay. Like, all right, that's, like, we're getting off now. Like, you
If you're not down with that, I'm mad about it. Okay, Hulk, I'm sorry.
you're not getting on the ride until you accept that trans people are real. Well, I think they're real. Who's disagreeing that they exist?
They're not holograms. You have to sign this thing and say they're not holograms
That's
before
funny.
you get
a guy
off.
who's like doesn't understand politics, trying to make a political message in a ride.
In a ride. That's such a funny concept.
It's like guns don't kill people, bullets do. Like that's not the message.
That's not the point of either side's argument
It's
at
a
all.
small world. Why am I upside down? My baby's on this ride. That'd be so funny, dude.
That would be great.
When we would go to Halloween Horror Nights in college, we would laugh about if there was like a haunted house that was based just on like they had like an experience where you could pay a lot more money and like the guys could touch you and it was more like an escape room and then they would put like a bug on you and shit. Like you would like tie you to a chair and put a bug on your face. And then you'd come. No, I mean I'd come, but like we would always joke about how like it'd be funny if they just like tailored it to your specific trauma. So we'd be like walking through a house and like my friend's dad was like mean. So it's just like a guy being like, "You're not enough." And then like we walk into a room and it's just completely blank and empty and the lights are on and there's just a chair and they're like, "Oh, this room's about James's dad."
Oh man, you're walking through. Oh, it kind of hurts a little.
I wish it was scary.
It's just a
sad.
room, yeah.
Dude, haunted houses are so
And then all of a
funny.
sudden you're upside down.
A haunted house with
James
a
has
political
no
message?
dad. What's the political messaging in this
How do they
ride?
know that? You know at E.T. when you give him your name?
Yeah.
And he's like, "James, I'm sorry, you didn't know your dad." Why does everyone else on the ride need to know this? It's like,
This one's James. You know, like it shows the people's photo, like when you come out of the ride, but it's just your photo. This is
and
James.
this is his dad. How did you get that photo? I don't even have that photo.
It's a mugshot. I didn't know he was arrested.
What was he arrested for? Sex crimes. Thank you, E.T.
Against humanity.
All right.
Against
E.T.
humanity.
My hat! You ever lose a hat on a roller coaster?
I have, yeah.
I never have. I get so anxious about losing stuff
Yeah.
on roller coasters. I've been on rides just gripping my pocket, and there was no
Yeah.
risk of anything falling out. I just get like, I'm not losing it. I mean, it
Yeah.
sucks to lose something.
Because you're scared of your pants coming off. You're like, I'm not losing these
Did
shorts.
you see Mark Hamill? He was making a speech at the British version of the Oscars, and he's like, "Cinema's very important," and then his pants just fall down.
What? No.
And then he just pulls them up.
Is this recent?
Yeah, it happened like 2 days ago.
I have not seen that.
He was like, "Cinema's very important," and he's behind a podium. You just see his pants, like you don't see it, but you just see him like pull them up and start tucking them in. It's like he didn't acknowledge it either. It's like you're kind of like a funny guy. You were like the Joker in cartoons. Like you should like be
He's
like,
very
"And my
charismatic.
pants just fell down."
So it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't like a bit.
No, but he wasn't also like making like a statement about like Israel or something. He was just saying like movies are important, which we know.
And then he had to get his pants back up?
He just pulled him back up.
God damn.
Yeah. Everyone in the comments is like, "This is what liberals deserve." I'm like, how could this be what liberals deserve?
They deserve their pants. Their belt's not
It's
working.
like, all right, I guess. If you really politically disagree with someone, this is a very weird way to think God is punishing you. Just him,
It's
like,
either California fires or your pants don't work right.
They did think that was like revenge for like.
Yeah. Being gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude, I can't get over a ride with a political message. That's just too funny.
That's very good. I like that a lot. We should
Yeah.
develop that a little
I like
bit more.
also a haunted house with one. Like what you said, like there's a ride about the Holocaust, but you're like through a haunted. It's not the
Right.
Holocaust, but it's like something like too specific. I was gonna say school shootings, but like that really wouldn't be that funny.
Like, how about like Jeffrey Epstein's suicide?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a haunted house,
It's
and
like
you're
too
like,
specific.
this is weird.
Yeah.
You're on Epstein Island. If they had balls, they would do Epstein Island.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just walking through and like, go through this machine and become a child. And you like walk through a machine.
And then everything in the rooms are like a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Like makes you feel like a kid.
Yeah.
And then Jeffrey is like, he has big red eyes, like animatronic. He's like, vroom.
Right. And a
He
big
tries to
egg-shaped
snag it.
dick. That was in
Was that a true thing?
Yeah, he has like a dick shaped like an egg.
Good
That's
for
what they
him.
do. They ask like the victims what their dick looks like, and then like they'll be like, "Let's see it." And it's like so specific, and then if it
Right.
does, it's like, well, how would he know that if he didn't see?
Right.
Like Harvey Weinstein like had a really fucked up dick. And
I've
who was, like-
I've never actually thought about that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That if you're like a victim of a sexual crime, it's like, well, what does it look like?
that was like a Monica Lewinsky thing too. Like all the women were like, she was like, yeah, there was this like thing about it, like it curves to the right or something.
Interesting.
And then like without all the other women knowing, all of them were like, yeah, it curves to the right.
Could you imagine being like president of the United States? Everyone knows that your dick's weird.
Yeah.
You can't imagine that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. You got a big imagination.
Your dick's not weird.
Your dick's weird.
Thank you, E.T. Why are you on the Hulk ride? Your dick's not weird.
Your dick's not weird. It's okay, James, and your dad.
Stop.
Your dad loves you from a distance. I don't care that.
Pictures of my dad and my weird dick on the Hulk ride, and E.T. is like, it's okay, and his thumb is glowing. Like that's not even the finger that glows. That's not even the finger. What the fuck is this?
He never does a thumbs up in the movie. It's a finger that
And it's glowing. It's like this guy didn't even see E.T. You make a roller coaster. It's just
actually
about
so
hoping one day the right guy comes through.
that doesn't have a dad. It has a weird dick.
Yes. And his name is James. And I'm the president of the United States. You know my favorite lore about the Hulk ride at Islands of Adventure?
Oh, that's so good.
This is the best lore about the Hulk ride at the Islands of Adventure.
Okay, that's a very specific subreddit that you've been on.
Yeah, r/Hulk ride at Hulk ride obscure facts. It's Casey Anthony
Okay.
worked the photo booth.
Interesting.
That's like an interesting fact. Like
Yeah.
maybe I was there.
Right.
So there could have been a time where I went to Universal Studios, got off and saw the picture, and Casey Anthony was the one
Yeah.
showing me the picture. That's really interesting.
That's interesting.
And all the pictures just say I did
It
not
really
kill
is
my
a
daughter.
It is a small world after all. This is my daughter. She's alive. That's not my picture.
That's not even a picture of me. Would you like to purchase? You're actually number 4, and the picture of us is very small. And the picture of Kaylee Anthony is big, and it just says in crayon, I did not do it. Like, why would I purchase that? Dude, Casey Anthony, the ride, that would be dope.
The
She's like
ride.
E.T. at the end, and she
Yeah.
says everyone's name. Caleb! Casey Anthony's wild night out. And you get into like a taxi, and you're just like, and then it stops in the middle. It's
Jimmy
like,
Fallon.
He's like, what? We're on a race. 1, 2, what? Casey Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
He's like,
Jimmy.
don't look in the trunk.
That's when you take off.
That'd be great. Let's make
excellent.
that. What would BOYtime the ride
Could
be
someone
like?
please give us like $2 billion so we can make this ride?
Yeah, imagine a theme park with one ride, but it's so funny, it's worth it. $65 a ticket.
Yeah.
You can go on as many times as you want.
The whole park is about like 20 20 acres.
Yeah.
That's all we need for like one
Like a
big
Walmart.
ride. Yeah.
Just buy an old Walmart.
Yeah, make our Casey Anthony Jimmy Fallon ride.
Jimmy Fallon's like, I wholeheartedly endorse this ride. We don't steal his identity for it. He just likes it.
He's just so drunk off his ass, he just doesn't care.
Sure. Was she like a singer? No, Jimmy. She's famously murdered her daughter and got away from it. Well, whatever. Can I drink there? Yeah, but you can only drink really strong tequila from a glass. So you're on the ride holding a glass of tequila. Casey
Going
Anthony.
upside down.
The tequila's flying.
Jimmy Fallon's writing it. This is him writing it.
He's keeping it
he's
in
like
there.
bored.
When they turn upside down, he knows.
Yeah, but he's very bored about
yeah,
it.
he's like, this is whatever. This is nothing on my ride at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
What would the BOYtime ride be?
I think we just described
No,
it.
that's not it. That can't be it. It'd be funny to like what I was saying with like characters that like don't that you have to like learn the plot of. Like imagine you get on a roller coaster and it's us and they're like, are we supposed to know who these guys are?
Right.
What's that? That's an I think you don't or I think you should leave sketch. Like, are we supposed to know? They say that in it. They're like, is that like someone we're supposed to know? Do you know that?
Is
That's
it the one
in
where they always say, what's the joke? Like, what's the joke? Are you talking about that one?
No. Fuck. If I was funnier. Well, maybe I'm thinking of David Pumpkins. Remember David Pumpkins? That's kind of what we're talking about. That sketch, David S. Pumpkins. Remember that with Tom Hanks? And it's like this couple gets on a creepy like elevator ride. It's an SNL sketch. And it's like 100 floors of fright. And they go to the first one. And it's like a witch. And she's like, ee! And then they go to the next floor. And it's like a goblin. And he's like, ee! And then they go to the third floor. And it's like, I'm David Pumpkins. And then they keep going. And they're like, is that a guy that we're supposed to know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ours would be branded as the Stuart Little experience.
Yes.
But
It's like us, though. And Stuart Little is not on it at all.
at all. He's on like the poster and like the blinking lights. Like the
Yes.
Stuart Little ride. But it's us just doing fart noises and acting weird.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no ride even. We're
It's
just
a-
actually there. We're just on a big, tall stage.
Right.
Just on this couch, just going. We've been here for 40
I'm
years.
burping a bunch.
And Jimmy Fallon's there.
Jay Val's there. It just turns to the Casey Anthony ride again.
I know someone who had sex with Casey Anthony.
What?
Yeah. There's a comic here who had a threesome, and then he was like, I never saw that girl again until she was on the news for murdering her daughter.
For real?
Yeah.
You've had a lot of run-ins. Photo booth. It wasn't a photo booth. I'm not
Also, it's like,
listening.
maybe. I just like the idea.
Right.
I like the idea that she could have been like.
Have you met famous people?
I met a couple famous people. Ed
Nice.
Sheeran, Pink, Lizzo.
Oh, duh. Yeah,
You mean
had
like
you had a lot of run-ins.
Yeah.
I meant like out in the wild. That was like your place of work. Like, did you ever like have a run-in with like a celebrity?
Ethan Hawke came into a restaurant I was working at.
Okay.
BJ Novak came in. A lot of like me serving
BJ
something. It was always at a
Novak.
workplace. I would never
Oh,
go
yeah,
up to
yeah.
a celebrity in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Only Will Sasso. Do you know him?
Yes.
He's the bald guy from
pants.
Behind. The pants.
Didn't you like post something where you were like, "Oh, I'm wearing my favorite pants at a Will Sasso event or like a Will Sasso
No.
show"?
No. He doesn't do shows. He's an actor. You talking about my checkered pants?
Yes.
That's from a boxing event with a local radio host.
But what was he there or something?
No, he wasn't there. I
What
don't
am
think
I
he has anything to
thinking
do
of?
with that.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I'm confusing
Chris
like
D'Elia
five different
blocked
memories.
me on Twitter when I was like 13.
Why?
I wasn't young enough.
That's good.
No, I just tweeted
If
him
you
like,
weren't a female, he's like, not female, not
Ew.
young enough.
No, my mom had this like plate made of glass, and the brand was Crystalia, like crystal. And I was like, "Hey, Chris, look, my mom has a plate that's like has your name on it." And he just blocked me.
What?
And I was like, "Why would you block a child over that?"
And like you didn't make fun of like there was no.
No, I
just-
was too young to like get him in any way, and I was a fan. I was like, "Look, block."
What the fuck? That's so weird.
He wasn't
You know-
like that famous at the time either, so it's just weird to block a guy sending you a photo of
Right.
my child hand. I mean,
That-
13's not a child, but like clearly, like
Yeah,
who would send? It's like why would you block? He just used to do that.
I feel like he's a really weird guy.
Oh,
because
yeah.
also I think anyone who's like completely straight edge is weird.
Yeah,
If you're completely straight edge and you are like in the industry of like entertainment, you're a weird guy.
Yeah.
I think you gotta have some vice.
Well, his was children.
Well, that's what I mean. It ends up being something like weird to where you're gonna see that and be like, oh fuck that. Like, no, just go drink.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Smoke
like
a little
get mad.
weed.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think he never drank. I think that's most of it. I don't know if he ever did anything else.
I know. There is an interview where he's like, no, I've never done anything ever. Wow. Yeah.
I'd believe that. Yeah.
It's like weird.
That is a weird way to be, and it's a weird thing to find out about even someone that you just know.
Right. I sometimes think about that with my parents. I'm like, they just have never done anything.
They never drank?
My dad used to when he was a kid, like before he got saved. But yeah, after that,
at Save a Lot.
Yeah, he got saved at Save a Lot, and he saved a lot. Yeah, and he just never drank after that. Never smoked.
Really?
It's weird.
That's what I was like with cocaine.
True.
Well, no, not really. I just like did it once, and I was like, "Well, this is a horrible experience." There's a couple drugs like that I tried once, and I was like, "I'll never need to do this again."
Huh.
I
thought you kind of liked coke.
No, I probably lied about it.
True.
No, I did it once, and I was like, And then there was like a lot of times in New York, people were like, "We're doing coke," and I'm like, "Feels like a line. Feels like you're crossing a line."
Wow.
Like I've done acid, mushrooms, weed, and I drink, and I've tried little other things, but like I probably wouldn't do acid again. I might. If
Have you done Molly?
No. Also feels like a line. Like,
really? But not acid?
Acid I did at a Grateful Dead concert, which felt like that's where I was supposed to do it.
That makes sense. But also you're supposed to do cocaine
I've done
in New
acid.
York.
I've done acid twice actually.
Okay.
Once at a Fish concert, once at a Grateful Dead concert.
Yeah, you told me about
But I've
that.
never done Molly.
I feel like Molly's like way like more low key and easy than acid or mushrooms.
I've heard. I mean, my friends have all been like, "You got to try Molly," and I'm like, I think because a girl in college once said that she dated a guy who had sex with her on ecstasy, and it ruined sex off of ecstasy. Like I could easily just not have sex while I'm on the drug, but something about that, I'm like, it just like stuck with me.
That makes sense.
Little things like that.
Yeah. So why didn't you like coke? What was it?
It was like it felt like a Zyn. I've always like since I got Zyn, I was like, why would I risk my heart exploding,
right?
Or like getting overdosed or getting like a bad batch or something? My brain being
starved of oxygen.
It just felt like smoking a cigarette fast.
Interesting.
Like it didn't feel like. Granted, I didn't do a bunch, but like I had a little bit, and I was like, nah, I don't need a lot more of this.
Interesting.
It was just like once.
Yeah.
I was like, no, and people would do it, and it's like. I've seen people do like lines of coke like all night, and then they just sort of like grinding their teeth, and they're like,
"Yeah,
we gotta go do something." Like, no, this is a party. This is what you go to do. Like, where else could we go?
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
My friend once did a bunch of coke and drank a bunch on New Year's Eve, and he's like, "Record this so I can make a documentary about how my life gets better."
And that was your dad.
That's my dad. That's the ride. You do a bunch of coke, and then you sit in a basement with James Donlon. Welcome to the James Donlon experience. I'm silently judging you. You're just doing that, sitting in a chair, though. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, he just also just didn't make the documentary. He might be. I don't know. He was like, "Do you have that?" Like last year, he's like, "Do you still have that footage?" I was like, "No, I deleted it off I did record him. I did it."
What did he do?
Just did a bunch of coke and drank a bunch and rambled into my phone.
He just wanted some like B-roll of him like doing drugs.
Yeah, to be like, now I'm sober. Like he's not.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it was
what a weird thing. And also, your life's not a movie, pal.
Yeah, there's a lot of comics like that.
I hate that shit.
That are like, it's like you can't self-impose an underdog story.
Right.
You can't make your life worse and then you'll make it better. Because the act of making it worse makes it like harder to make it better.
Yeah.
Have you ever done cocaine?
Yes. Sonia, you've done. Out of here.
Go.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give you so many pets after the podcast.
This is boy time, Sonia.
Yeah, and you're a girl. Get the fuck out of here. I'm feeling so bad.
She's fine.
Hey, lay down.
Lay down. There you go. There you go. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Some drugs just give me the heebie-jeebies. Like I like.
That's how I am with coke. I've been offered coke multiple times. I've never tried it because I'm like, yeah, it's just like it's the same kind of thing. I've heard that it lasts very short. I'm like, why? I just have no interest. I just don't care. Why would I want that? I'm gonna put something up my nose, and then I'm gonna feel like my heart is palpitating. That just doesn't sound like a cool experience.
Yeah. Ketamine was weird too. I snorted ketamine once, and I was
Interesting.
like, "This feels like
How's
I'm
that?
at the doctor's office, and they gave me like the drugs that make you pass out." Ketamine is
Really?
just the experience of being high right away or being drunk right away for a short period of time.
Okay.
It's not like an upper, even though it might be. I don't know how people fucking use it, but it was just like, and it was like 15, 20 minutes of just being like drunk.
Weird.
Then you're like, oh, okay. I'm like,
And then you just come down from it?
yeah. It felt like medical because it is like a horse tranquilizer or whatever they say.
Right.
But it just felt that way. Whereas like, I don't know. I just always, my curiosity with drugs was like, oh, like, I mean, this might be pretentious. When I was like younger, I was like, oh yeah, you can like expand your mind.
Sure.
Like smoke some weed. I smoked too much weed.
Yeah, I'll reach a higher state of consciousness if I do these.
I always just liked weed more
Things.
than drinking. Because drinking, I get like physical. Like if I drink a lot, I'll just get sick.
Sure.
But if I smoke a lot, I'm fine.
Yeah, the
Like, I
next
can
day
handle
there's
it.
no hangover. Right.
You said something recently that made me laugh because I like hit a pen and you're like, oh, silly James is coming out, and I'm like, yeah, no, I mean that is it though. Like I get a little like it energizes me.
Yeah.
Regardless of strain. Like if I don't smoke weed a lot and then I smoke a little bit of weed, I'm like an animal.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing hard. It's like psychedelic in a way. I don't smoke that much, really.
Yeah. Me neither. I smoke probably like once every 3 months.
Yeah?
And yeah.
I didn't know you even smoked that much.
Yeah. Like once every 3 months, I'll just like take a hit of like my girlfriend's, whatever she's doing. Never a pen. I refuse to do any pens. I've just had bad experiences with them. But yeah, if like she's smoking a bowl, I'm like, oh, I'll hit that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always have a good time, but it's just not something I need to do all the time. I just have no desire for that. I love drinking.
Yeah.
Like I do like having a couple beers, having like a little bit of tequila. Like I really like the state of having like a slight buzz.
Yeah.
Super nice.
I like it. Like I like a couple beers. Like
Yeah.
5-6 beers. That's nice.
Yeah.
But I think there's a volume issue for me too. Like if I want to get like nice and almost drunk, we're talking like 12 beers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, we made the Christmas track
We went out for beer 3 times.
3 times.
We had
Yeah.
three. We
We
had
had 3 6-packs.
Yeah.
So that means
9 beers each.
Yeah. And like I was still functional.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Yeah. Beers I can just power through.
Yeah, liquor is different, but liquor comes back on me more. If I drink a
Yeah.
bunch of liquor all night. Like when I first moved down, I went out with one of our friends and like on like the Friday the 13th. And like he knew a bartender and he like gave me a bunch of like free espresso martinis. And I was so fucked up.
Right.
I was just sending people like I don't believe that drunk words are sober thoughts because I do and say things when I'm drunk that I would never do sober.
I disagree.
You disagree? You think drunk words are sober
Yeah.
thoughts? I don't think that's
Yeah.
true.
I think it is.
Like I was sending people audio messages on iMessage of just me saying faggot. And I know I just said it now, but like I said it to people I really would never do that to. Not gay
Right.
people.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I would never do that sober. So I guess drunk actions aren't sober actions. But
I
that's
don't
like
know,
the whole thing. I don't believe that drunk words are sober thoughts, though.
No, I'm maybe not sober thoughts, but I think alcohol, it lowers your inhibitions. So, like, the trueness of yourself comes out.
Yeah.
Not that you're, like, homophobic. I mean, spoiler alert for everyone out there. I don't think saying the F slur means you're inherently homophobic.
Right. Then say it. No, don't.
I mean, I will.
No. Save it for the ride. Save it for the ride.
Save it for the ride.
The Hulk says
no, like
it.
I have a lot of gay friends where we say that word like together.
Yeah.
Like and it's I don't know. I'm trying to reclaim the F slur and the R slur both.
Okay.
Because those are it's like it's
I want to go back to. I want to talk about this, but I,
feel like
do want to go back to the sober, drunk words or sober
Yes.
thoughts. Okay. When people say that faggot is used derogatorily against gay people, so they reclaim it like the N-word. It's the same thought process to be used as like something that they use. It's like gay people's N-word. That's a great name for a romantic comedy. The gay people's N-word.
That's good. That's good.
But what did they do? People called gay people faggot to make them feel weak, make them feel less than, make them feel like they were like, it was like a weakness thing. Like
Right.
you're being like feminine, which is inherently a weakness. But my argument is, and it might be a bad argument, it was like, that's how I was called it. People used it derogatorily against
Right.
me as like a middle schooler. We said it all the time in middle school. Do you remember that? I remember
Of course.
before anyone, like when we hit high school, and that was when the word got bad. And like when I got to
Right.
college, it was like, okay, you really can't say this word anymore.
Yeah.
But then you think about the logic a little bit, and I was like, you know, that logic plays for black people because black people were slaves, systematically oppressed by the government. Like there's a lot of history there, and also like people have different experiences. But I don't think that like another white man, gay person, they had different experiences. But it's not as
Right.
fundamentally different as something that maybe like a black person from like a different neighborhood would experience.
Interesting.
So I do think in a way the logic there of reclaiming it is kind of foiled because it was like, yeah, people used it against me. Like I had like coaches
Right.
say it to like make me like run harder. And
Right.
when I wasn't doing things enough.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, a faggot?
Yeah.
No. Not really.
Right.
I'm a child, actually. Like,
Oh, yeah. No, that is different because I feel like the F slur is a more encompassing. Yeah, it just means like weakness.
Mhm.
Like the N word is like a very specific like color of your skin is bad and you're less than for it.
right.
But like the F slur and even the R slur, it's just like, oh, you're like, it's like weakness and you're dumb. I'm not trying to belittle like people that have been affected like by that. I'm sure that's like really hard. And if you're like a queer person who has like been like made fun of and with that word, like that's probably very difficult.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously I have like empathy towards that, but yeah, it's definitely different. It's 100% different.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of gay people would act like it's not different.
No.
But
No.
I do think
I mean,
that
I
that
saw a lot
logic,
of gay people say like that the way Kendrick used it was like really cool. I saw a lot of gay people like, oh, that song was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
faggot, we didn't know no better. And it's
Right.
like a lot of like, I think a lot of like dumb white liberals just like make things bad, but they're not actually the ones affected by it.
No.
And it's like, well, actually go talk to the gay people in your community and like get their thoughts on it. I'm sure someone would say, don't say that word. But I'm sure a lot of them would be like, I don't know. Like, I don't really
Well, yeah,
care that
if you
much.
talk to black people, they're like, yeah, you can say it, I guess. Like, about
Right.
the N-word. They're like, I guess. Like, I have in my youth. I've been like, what do you
Same
think
here.
about, because I'm stupid? What do you think about the N-word, only black guy I know? Like, he wants to talk about that.
Yeah.
You know when white people like see black people and they're like, this guy definitely, like, I can't stop thinking about his race, so he definitely wants to talk about it with me.
Yes.
And then you,
Yeah.
like, meet black people and you're like, yeah, I don't really need to, you know?
Right. Their whole personality isn't made up in their like color of their skin.
Right.
Right.
They're like more than that. They like
Yes.
anime.
Right.
They all like anime. Let's be honest.
We just put them in a box right away after saying they're not in a box.
They're not all the same, but they do all like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z. I remember I read an article because I was
That's
like,
so funny.
why did so many black guys like anime so much? And I Googled it, and there was a Kotaku. It was like an old gaming website that would do like articles. It was like, why black people like Dragon Ball Z so much.
Interesting.
And I think the basis of it was like, it's just like rap in a way. It's like a
Right.
power fantasy thing.
Yeah.
That was
Very
just,
empowering.
yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I could see that. It was written by a black guy, so it was like, okay, I feel like he would have an insight to that.
Right.
But anyway, we can go back to drunk words or sober thoughts.
Yes.
You do believe that?
I
Because I'll give you this. I think,
I think it's maybe not like maybe not boiling it down just to the words. Like the words are are sober thoughts, but I think the energy that is like pouring out is something that's buried deep inside of you that you push down. But then when you're like drunk or like very under the influence, those ideas come up.
I had a friend who had a drinking problem, and it would be like that. It would be like, and he wouldn't remember it, but he would have like these problems, and he would like say he would say things that I never even repeated because I'm like, what am I going to do? Rehash a bunch of stuff you said when you're drunk?
Right.
Because like I don't even believe it half the time. But over time, if it keeps happening with someone, you're like, oh, you have some sort of thing
Yes.
where when you're drinking, there's this underlying aggression. And I have like a couple friends like that where like some sort of underlying emotion would come out.
Yes.
And so in those situations, I would give it to you. Yeah, I think like drunk feelings are like sober repressed feelings. In a way.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think it's like words. Yeah, because like people say like stupid things. It's not like, oh, you said the F. Oh, you're homophobic, and that's what you really feel. No, I don't think that's like what's happening.
Right. It's easier for you to say the things you're not supposed to say if your inhibitions are lessened. You know, you're like, oh, I'm not supposed to say that. I mean, my friends in college always make fun of me. Have I told you this? This is like, I guess a little vulnerable, but like it's because I've grown as a person and I don't like hide away from it. Like I used to play Jackbox games. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world a couple times. Drop a hard RN word in there.
Yeah.
Everyone voted for it.
Right.
That's like the Nazis with Hitler.
Yeah.
Not really, but a little bit. It's like that was. I put like a bomb in there because like it's like playing Cards Against Humanity and everyone's trying to put the worst card down.
The biggest, blackest dick. Like always wins. That card always wins because it's the most shocking, ridiculous thing.
And it's like
so if you put
One
I would do
one
the same
time
thing.
it said I was at a party with my friends, and it was like there was like the shape of Texas is actually the shape of, and I put a big old N-word, and someone else put like my cock. It's like, of course I won.
Right, because it's the most shocking, insane thing.
And then it's just like it shows whose name did it. And like I regret doing that because I don't defend that behavior. I wouldn't say that that's something that's cool to do. If I did that now, my friends wouldn't laugh and roll on the floor about it because everyone's grown up more.
Right.
And at the time, like I can go into it a little bit. It's like I remember like Louis had specials where he said the N-word. And it was like, oh, are we like moving into a place where like people can say any word they want to say? It's like, no, like Louis could say it to like get a point across because he's the best stand-up in the country right now. Like you're just a guy at a party playing Jackbox games. Like you don't have like this like underlying philosophy. You're just trying to say like the worst thing you can think of.
Yeah, and exactly going to the Kendrick Lamar song. He's saying it with like a purpose and he's trying to flip it in a way towards like, yeah, there's an ideology behind it and a purpose why he's saying it.
Yeah.
But when we're doing Jackbox, it's just shock value.
Yeah.
It's like, what can be the most shocking thing?
I was 20 and drinking a lot and like thinking something was funny. I'm 28 now.
Dude, I don't
feel bad about it. I used to be like, oh, I can't believe I did this. This is going to come up because there's people there who saw something. I'm like, oh, people are going to say. But it's like, dude, I know that was the kind of guy I was.
Absolutely. And I was the same way. There's videos of like I was literally talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday. And I'm like, there's videos of me saying the N-word when I'm like 16. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm fucking dumb. I just like it wasn't like in reference to like a black person. Right. It was just like
I'm pulling over my car and yelling at a black person on the street.
No, never. And even back then I was like aware of like how the world works and I was very compassionate, but I was like, oh, this is a funny word I can say for like shock value. But then I grew up. Yeah. Like,
yeah, you just grow up.
Yeah, you're like, that's dumb.
And even like
you leave childish
what
things
we were
behind.
talking about too is like drunk words or sober thoughts in a way. It's like you kind of have to grow up because you kind of have to make your sober words you kind of have to be the same guy all the time.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's like repressing how you feel about everything and you're living like a life, you know, like that you don't like if you're like hanging out with people that you hate and you get drunk and you just like shit on them the whole time. Right. It's like, well, then just stop hanging out with those people.
Or like you get drunk with your partner and like stuff bubbles up. It's like, well, how about being honest about that kind of stuff before you get drunk? Yeah. Like deal with those issues like on a sober level.
Yeah, because then getting drunk with your girlfriend is like fun.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like like I know so many people who get drunk with their girlfriend or their boyfriend and then they just start fighting. It's like you guys are not talking about anything when you're sober. You're not talking about anything. Yeah. And then you get drunk and then you make it everyone else's problem at fucking Enigma or I'm just trying to name a bar. Like, right. Just like you go out to a bar and it's like, oh, what the why?
Yeah. This is coming up because they don't talk to each other. Yeah. Yeah. Which I think alcohol is like in a way really good for that. Yeah, because it like exposes your own vulnerabilities that like you might not even know are there. Like there's been times with like my current girlfriend, wow, we're just getting deep. We're like we're getting like drunk and stuff, and I mean I don't say anything like bad, or like oppressive.
Yeah.
But I'll like start feeling a way. I'm like, wait, why am I feeling like this? Like this is like weird. And then like it's something I have to like deal with.
Yeah. Like there's been times when
why am I getting annoyed at like a small thing?
Yeah.
It's like that's dumb.
Like something I realized with my girlfriend is like we would get drunk and then I would get like irritable and it would be like, oh, I'm worried that like she's going to embarrass me or something. And then over time you're like, she's just never done that.
Right.
So you're just like projecting your anxiety onto something that hasn't happened because you're worried that my girlfriend's never done or said anything drunk that I like would ever be embarrassed by.
Right.
Like she doesn't like punch cops. But I have a friend who gets drunk and punches cops. I don't know what
That's
that is.
his MO.
I don't know what is he suppressing? He wants to punch cops all the time and then like what kind of guy is that?
He just feels very out of control maybe, and like authority is always over him. Who knows?
Yeah, it's always something like that.
Yeah.
But that stuff can be fun, you know? In a way, now that I'm older, it's like if I go out with like someone or like a younger couple or like I've seen things and it's just like a newer couple and they're like drunk and they're like fighting. It's kind of like funny now. I know it's like rude to say, but it's like, oh, you guys are like don't know how to like be in a relationship or anything.
Yeah. You're new to this. You're figuring it out.
Yeah, and I don't even have it figured out. But it's like,
well, right, but you probably have it figured out more than what you did.
Yeah, I haven't figured out.
So it's cool to look back because, like, I'm sure you and your girlfriend, when you first got together, it was like not peaches and creams and roses. Like everyone has like growing period.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when the honeymoon phase ends.
This is the boy time ride. It's like all of these like topics. Our drunk thoughts. Sober words.
Whoa. That's not even what it is.
That's not even the same.
We say that? Who are these guys?
Jazz hands.
Welcome to the jazz hand tunnel. The roller coaster goes really slow through a tunnel where you're just surrounded by our hands.
If you said the N word when you were 16,
it's okay.
It's okay to forgive yourself. Jazz hand tunnel.
And the Hulk is like, it's okay to be trans as well. Get out of here, Hulk! It's us beating up the Hulk somehow. Well, I think that's boy time.
Is that an hour?
I don't know. Yeah.
Wow, okay. That went by quick.
Yeah.
Signing off. All right, now we exposed ourselves.
Zip.